Hi there. I had a few things in mind for today, but the thing I decided to do was to start work on the hull blocks for the ship. And as you can see, this is kind of an early prototype I have going on over here. The deal with these blocks is they basically take into consideration which tiles they're touching, and then they kind of smooth out their vertices, or indent if you want to be more specific about it. And this is still an early version. I'm not really super happy about the look. Obviously I can play around with the values a little bit. We don't have to indent that much, we can indent a little less. And just to show you the effect, let me demonstrate that. See, it's a little bit of a more subtle effect, which I think I prefer. But the idea with this is I want to smooth out the outside of the ship once we have proper spaceships in the game, and I want to have this more of a futuristic look to them. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing today. Okay, sort of the effect that I'm looking for. Not quite there yet, but as you can see, I've managed to smooth out like the connecting edges as well. If I expand the size of this block, you'll see what I mean. It's very broken, but the lines are nice. You can see that it's kind of slopey towards the edges. That's kind of what I like. Okay, what I think the next step here is actually to connect these faces. Huh. Well, it kind of works. Okay. Yeah, what's up with this? Why do we have this problem? Oh yeah, because we're pulling these faces together. Yeah, I don't think this method is gonna work. I mean, it works if your thing is completely spherical, but for an arbitrary shape, it's not gonna work. So I have to come up with the technique that works on arbitrary shapes as well. Yeah, so I went and grabbed some coffee and I had an epiphany, basically. Let's try a different approach for the problem here. I'll demonstrate this with just normal blocks. Okay, so what I have in mind right now, so imagine this this block here, and we have, okay, so it's looking at like these 6 adjacent tiles, right? So if all 6 of them are solid blocks around this block, the bias is still going to be in the middle, so it's going to be a full block. As soon as there's irregularity in the bias, for example, these 4 blocks will now cancel out the pool in the middle, but there's this one on the side here, so the bias is going to slightly come this way. So I need to decide what I do in that specific case. But for example, if the bias is like this, then you can see that these 2 cancel out. So on the, let's call this the x-axis, even though it's probably not. Let's call this the x-axis. So x-axis is 0. There's a pull towards minus z, and there's a pull towards, I guess, positive y in this case. So there's 2 pulls, and so it's a different case in this case. You know, we want to do something different with the block. So I want to try this approach and just see whether we can cook something up that actually does what we want it to do. Do I want to keep any of this code? Probably not. Let's make a variable called bias complexity. I can't think of a better name of it. And it's basically going to be just adding together the absolute of the bias. This is going to give us a bias complexity. And then we can do a switch statement. It's either going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. In cases 0 and 1, we just want to draw a block without doing anything special. If there's a bias complexity of 2, we need to draw a slope. And if it's a bias complexity of 3, we need to draw a diagonal slope. All right. So let me just figure out how to do this, and then I'll get back to you and we'll see the finished product, hopefully. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see if this works. Oh, okay. Well, that's looking cool. Oh, that's insane. Yeah, it actually works. Look at that. Well, the indent is a bit much. We need to indent less in the case of the 3. But yes, I think it works. Yeah, this looks terrible. But so we need to indent less. Bias complexity is equal to 2. Then we want to use, or even no 5 actually. Else we just want to use something a lot smaller. Let's try 0.2 and see how it looks. Yeah, 0.2 is better. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's a little bit of an issue there. Oh, it's funny how this one, like... Alright, because there's no block below it, or at least it thinks there's no block below it, so that's why it kind of does that. I think we're very close. It's not perfect. I'll try to build it up in the air. Yes, that's kind of expected. Then as I build it up, it should kind of morph. Okay. Yes, we like that. And then this should give us a... Okay. And now here's the problem. Aha. So these don't match anymore. Alright, but basic slopes... Yeah, for example, just a slope to a tile. For example, if you want to make a staircase like this, that works. I mean, it's a cool shape, but, you know. Maybe this is not the approach, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the right approach. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to go the brute force method of just encoding all of the 64 different permutations of how adjacent blocks will interact. I can't think of a better way of doing it. I mean, I really thought I had something with this bias complexity, but the more I the more I work with it, the more I realize, you know, I still have to patch the whole thing up, basically. Okay, I think I finally have something that actually works. As you can see. Yeah, looks pretty good. Like it's smoothing out the curves. And you can make it into any arbitrary shape and it should connect properly. As far as I can see. But it's super slow. It's super slow, and the reason for it is because it works by scanning a 3x3x3 area around the tile every time you place it. That's kind of how it knows what shape to assume. I really wish there was a faster way of doing this. I'm just not smart enough. At least it works, you know, it's smoothing out the shapes properly. As you can see, it looks kind of cool. Let me try increase, look at this abomination. Let's try increase the indentation a little bit just to see how it looks. I think it looks cool. It's cool, like you can actually make shapes that resemble. You can see as soon as I place a block which is not a whole block next to it, it kind of morphs towards it. So a combination of these also works, as you can see. I don't know. I think it's good. We just gotta optimize it as best as we can. Oh, it's really funny how much unfinished stuff I have in my code, or stuff I've just forgotten about and stopped working halfway through. There we are. Everything works and it's nicely optimized as far as I'm concerned, as you can see. The reason for it is because basically this whole chunk of code, let me just show you this. There was a try catch over here and this was massively slowing things down. There was also a little oversight that I fixed like so. Yeah, and it's quite fast as well, which I'm really happy about. Oh god, yes. Finally some proper optimization is in place. And it's kind of cool how these connect like that, even though they're touching in the corners like that. Right, nice. We got whole blocks in the game. So I might just change up the whole ship to use whole blocks instead of this. Let's close this. Don't think we need to work on that anymore. Let's go into spaceship, right? Populate chunks. So how would I do this? So instead of metal wall, we want to do... let's do the whole block. And let's just see how that looks. All right. Awesome. Wow, that's some spacey stuff right there. Maybe we should try generate walls as well. Let me see how that would work. So what am I doing here? Right, instead of doing this, let's not have any randomness in there. Let's just generate a full window. And oh yeah, this is how we're gonna do it. Okay, so we're gonna, oh, this is not gonna look great, but okay. Or let's say world z max -1. So that's one thing. All right. So let's just put this inside of a variable. Our z is border, and let's make 2 more. X is border, and let's make y is border. Okay, so if x is border, follow my logic here, plus y is border, plus z is border, is less or equal to 2, then we do this. Let's see what that does. And oh, world, it's sorry, it's self in this case, because we are within the scope of the world. Okay, yeah, we got a filled spaceship. Why is there no blocks in the corner here? Okay, because... Okay, and there's no blocks. Yeah. Oh, it's filled with windows inside. It's completely filled with windows. I see, okay. So... I feel like this would be the solution instead. Aha, okay, now this is better. Why don't we try this? Okay, and this looks better. Ah, okay, nice, beautiful. We just don't have windows in the ship. How do we do windows? Oh yeah, I guess we could follow this logic actually. Just add the Z parameter here. And also here. Z. Let's see. Does that... oh, we're missing a bracket there. Let me see what that does. No. Oh, let's all right, let's do something like this. It's gonna generate windows in on the sides, but I do want to fill in the borders as well. So let's do something along the lines of, and X is not border and Y is not border. So this will give us windows on the, oh, sorry, yes. If X is border and Y is border is what we need to have in here. Okay, because that's the condition for the home blocks. Okay. Yes, baby. Okay, we got something. So we have a spaceship with windows on the side and whole blocks. That's nice. I mean, the point of this game is building your own spaceship, but this is just to have something to start with. Hello. Alright, cool. Okay, so I've just fixed a couple of things. We fixed the docking gates, which weren't really working before. We could create docking gate, but it wouldn't update correctly client side, and now it does that, as you can see. We fixed loading the game, so I have a save file. The server actually, you can see, loads the save file. It doesn't create a new world every time we start the game, so that works. And the thing I want to do as a final touch is I want to fix these corner tiles. As you can see, they look kind of fine, but the corners are a little bit sharp. Basically, what the problem is over here is, depending on how you divide this square face into triangles, it sometimes looks fine. Like this edge looks fine, you can see. But if you do it the wrong way around, like this one, you get a weird flat face on one end. For example, in this case, I would need to swap these vertices to divide the square like that. And that would fix the smoothness. As you can see, if I look at it from this side, it looks pretty smooth. But if I look from this angle, it kind of looks weird, see? We're basically on the home run here. I've implemented a way to fix the problem. Basically what I do is I recognize when our tile is a corner of a cube, and I can additionally indent it. And then later on, we can actually swap the triangles. As you can see here, I still have to do that part. But let me just show you how it looked before. The corners of cubes are kind of poking out. What this code does, it recognizes that corner of a cube, and it indents it additionally. And there we go. It looks a lot smoother. Now we have the same problem as before. Okay, it's not immediately obvious, but you can see that this face kind of goes in and then a little bit out. So you want to swap the triangles, and I'll just start doing that with this corner over here. I marked it with this tile over here. This is the 0, 0, and we have to swap just the front face of the block. Okay, so the way I do that is I come over here and we'll do a little switch statement. Now, since this is the 0, 0, this vertex here is also index 0. And then what we can do here is just say swap triangles, and then we say face back. We want to swap the back face. So just remember how this looked. It was like that. Okay, let's go back to this block, and we should see that the vertices are swapped. Yes, there you go. See, the line is going across like that, and it looks a lot more smoother. Okay, now we have to do the same thing for all of these. I'll kind of do this off camera and just show you the final result, because it's going to take a little bit of time. Good, okay, there we are. So that's the end of that. We have whole blocks that dynamically update their vertices. They're still very slow, as you can see. It takes me around 40 milliseconds to generate the vertex buffer for the whole chunk, but we can bring this quite a bit down by storing data about vertices in the tiles themselves. Right now, whenever I need to regenerate the chunk, I regenerate all the tiles and do all of this logic. And what we can do in the future is we can just say, hey, you know, this tile changed, so I just need to update the logic for that tile and the surrounding tiles. But, you know, all the rest of them don't need to run this code. So that's one optimization that comes to mind. But as far as I'm aware, yeah, we have whole blocks in the game, and they look absolutely wonderful.